What is going on, everyone? This is Xtra Father here, and today we're going to be rating every single mission in the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. Now, I rather did like the campaign. I think it's better than Vanguard's campaign, which isn't saying much, but yeah, let's go right through this. So, Strike is your first mission of the game, and it's quite a good mission. So, you're playing as Ghost for like 20 seconds. It shows you a cinematic of the missile about to launch to kill this general, and you take control of the missile, and the sound effects in that mission are so fucking good.
Got out! Missile in blue.
Oh, fuck! Since it doesn't have any gameplay in it other than being the missile, it kind of lacks, but it is a great cinematic intro. So out of 10, I'd say this is an 8. So let's move on to Kill or Capture. Kill or Capture is Ghost and Soap. They lead a team into some of these houses to search for Hassan, and he ends up not being there. So they're trying to help out this corporal that got shot down from a helicopter, and it showcases the night vision in the game, and I think the night vision in the game is really cool. The overall gameplay of this mission is quite good. I think when you get around to the helicopter, I think that's probably the best part in the mission. I think this is a good mission. I would rate it. If it was longer, I think it would be really up there, but I think this is a good 8.5. I would say this is a really good mission. Wet Work. Now, this is a mission where you take control of Gaz through this water mission, which is actually pretty cool. With Laswell's help, Price and Gaz pursue an AQ cell in Amsterdam and discover an unholy alliance, and that unholy alliance is the Mexican cartel. In this mission, you are taking control of Gaz, going underwater, trying to kill people silently, which I did not achieve. Fuck. I would rate this mission, I'd say a 7.5. I'd say a 7.5. I think that's pretty solid. Tradecraft. This mission is so short. So in Amsterdam, Gaz, Price, and Laswell use CIA tactics to roll up an HVT in broad daylight. This mission is so short, I didn't really even know what was going on. If this was a longer mission, I think it could have been good. But since it is so short, and you only kill like 3 people, it's not very good. I think this is like a 5 out of 10. Borderline. This is one of the better missions in the campaign. So, Laswell tasks Alejandro to stop Hassan from crossing the border. Now, they group up and they're trying to find Hassan. Hassan goes over the border and they're trying to catch him and get him through these town buildings and all these houses. And it's really cool. It's actually really good because you have to be chasing someone as well as hiding yourself, which is really creative, and I think this is one of the better missions in the campaign. I think this is a 9 out of 10 mission. Cartel Protection. This one's really weirdly placed. So, Ghost, Soap, Rudy, and Alejandro pursue Hassan under the cartel's protection. Mexican army troops in the pocket of the cartel intervene. I think the pacing's a little off in this. Like it feels like you're running away and then trying to catch someone at the same time, but you are running away mostly the whole time. I think the atmosphere is quite good. I think being in the buildings before you start going into the jungle or the woods is quite well placed. I think the dialogue, all the dialogue in this game is very well written. I would rate this one, I'd say a 7.5 out of 10, honestly. I think it's a good mission. I just think it could have been better. Close Air. This is one of the missions. Both of these are basically the same mission. So Close Air, Ghost, Soap, and Alejandro search for a cartel. The only thing that I did not like about this mission is that you had no ground control. You were not on the ground whatsoever in both of these missions, and I think that's what really took it away from being a really good mission. So once you get Hassan, it doesn't show you anything. It doesn't show you a cutscene or an animation or anything like that. You're not on the ground, so you're hearing everything from the top, and it really separates you from what's going on down below. In Hardpoint, you're trying to protect Hassan and the rest of them from all of these people and there's so many that you're like destroying this whole town. But close air, I would say this is a 6.5 out of 10. I feel like if there was more ground and less air, I think it would have been like an 8. But hard point, I did not like this mission. I think this is a 5 out of 10. I feel like if you put 2 missions side to side like this was like an hour-long playthrough right here for being in the airplane. So I didn't really enjoy that, but it was a nice little break from being on the ground, but it was a little too long. Recon by fire. This mission is way too long. Way too long. It took me 40 minutes to get through this mission, and I think the setup for this mission is quite well. But as soon as you start putting more than 20 people to kill with a sniper one shot, and you're trying to plan where to put your shots so other people don't see you shooting them, I think putting that in place, and then also the repeated lines from Price.
2.5 notches, 2.5 notches, 2.5 notches, 2.5 notches, 2.5 notches.
Dude, just shut up. I know what I'm doing. And this mission is so long that you're killing people from a range, right? And then you go into these 2 buildings to kill all the rest of the people, and the gunplay in between that, you're running for like 2 minutes to get to one of the buildings, and it feels like a lot of wasted time. If you would have just put a few people outside, armored people that you have to headshot, by the way, I feel like if there would have been less armored enemies outside and more on the inside, I feel like this would have been a really good mission. But since it didn't have that kind of aspect, I'm going to rate this a 6 out of 10. I like the atmosphere, I like the point of the mission, it wasn't working. Violence and timing, one of the I hate this mission. I really do. It doesn't make any sense. It's one of those missions from like Black Ops where it's just like you're running around with a minigun and it doesn't really make any sense. So in this mission, you're chasing this convoy that has Laswell captured from Recon by Fire. And this mission is so long. It takes so long to get to the top of the convoy where you have to maneuver around this one tank. And there's so much wasted time, and I feel like it just shouldn't been in the game, that halfway through it, I was like, okay, I think I'm done for the day. Board the APC, alright. So all I gotta do is drive up to it. It's gonna take me 20 minutes to drive up to this truck. And that's, I didn't feel that way for any other mission. This mission is way too long. They need to cut some out of this. But it takes way too long. I think this is a like 3.5, 4 out of 10 for me. I think the dialogue is great. The dialogue throughout the whole campaign is great. But this is the weakest mission in the campaign, in my opinion. El Sin Nombre. This is actually quite good. I like this mission. So in this mission, you are trying to get to El Sin Nombre, who is a Mexican cartel leader, I think. In this mission, you're trying to be sneaky and trying to get to El Sin Nombre. And this mission is very well set up. The cutscene in this is pretty great. I thought Soap was gonna die.
I'll do it.
You go in there and they'll kill you, hermano.
I'll take my chances. Call
This
me
is
when you
where
need
we
me.
lose Soap.
All right, let's get her up and get after
I
it.
think this is a really well-placed mission. This could replace violence and timing, and it wouldn't have made any difference throughout the whole campaign. Like, if you would have taken violence and timing out of the game, it wouldn't have changed anything. I rate this mission an 8 out of 10. I feel like it does what it needs to do very well. I don't think it exceeds or pushes the boundaries on anything, but it is a good mission. Dark Water, one of the best missions in the game. So in this mission, Soap, Alejandro, Ghostgraves, and his Shadow Co. race to an offshore oil platform to prevent an imminent strike on US soil. So apparently there's a missile on this platform, this offshore oil platform, and they're trying to disable it or destroy it. And this is one of the best looking missions in the game, I have to say. It is very good looking. It showcases the rain and the fog elements of the game, and they show off a lot of good graphics in this mission. So I think this is the best mission in the game. 10 out of 10, this is the best mission out of the game, because I was just thinking of the boxes that move around, right, while you're trying to kill the enemies. That is such a good mission, dude. Going through that mission, I would play this mission 5 times over again, because it's so fun and it's so entertaining, and it makes you think. So I think this is the best mission in the game by far. Alone. I hate this mission. I hate it. The fact that you're trying to put the DMZ elements or whatever you're trying to do into the campaign, into a solo mission where you have nothing, you got nothing, and you're trying to go throughout this mission killing armored fucks with nothing. Tell me how that makes sense to you. So this is the most tedious, most repetitive, most uncalculated mission in the game by far. I feel like the only part in this mission that sets it apart is the fact that Soap and Ghost are talking to each other.
Why is 2 legs and blades?
Don't tell me.
Half a dog.
I asked you not to tell me.
I think that's the only good part in this mission. I feel this mission is way too long to be an alone mission, if that makes sense. So I would say this is a 4 out of 10, easily. Prison Break. If you didn't know, at the end of Dark Water, Shepard turns because they found out they were trying to hide something.
My men are inside!
I'm afraid not. Your men have been detained.
Graves, what the fuck? Go, Johnny! Get out of there! So, go!
Prison Break, you're trying to break Alejandro out of the prison. It feels a lot like that mission where you are Farah trying to get out in Modern Warfare 2019. It feels very similar to that. I think this is a good mission. It has a lot of action in it. Yeah, it brings the team together, and that really feels good because you have Captain Price, Ghost, Alejandro, Rudy, Soap, like everyone. And it feels so good to come as a team together to fight evil, or whatever you want to say. But I think this is a good mission. I would rate this a 8 out of 10. There's no flaws in this mission, I don't think. Besides having so many armored people that take so many goddamn shots. Hindsight. This is such a short mission that you don't really know what the fuck you're doing. You're not on the ground whatsoever, you're just shooting a weapon. But I feel like the opening cutscene to this is rather good. But I feel like this should have just been a cinematic, honestly. There's no real reason to put this in the game other than to maybe break the silence with the cinematics. I don't know. But this mission's way too short. And I feel like if we would have been on the ground in any other way, I feel like this could have been a good mission with some flashlights or something like that in like the pitch black dark. I think that would have been a really great mission. But since they didn't do that and there's no on the ground combat, you're just shooting from a truck, I think this is really brings it down. So I think this is a 5 out of 10. I feel like it could have done a lot more with what they gave it. But other than that, it's not really a mission. Ghost Team. Alright, so after all this happens, they break Alejandro out of the prison. They all rally together to go kill Greaves, right? And they set up all these routes and everything, and you're trying to go through underground to get to the base, and it's very well thought out. This is one of the best missions in the game, and the combat is so well put through, it's so well thought out that it doesn't feel like they're trying to do too much or trying to push it back a little bit. I feel like near the end of this mission where Graves is running and you're trying to get him in the tank, I feel like that part of the mission is not very good. And while you're trying to go out this mission, there's a whole bunch of armored fucks, and you got to kill them as well as go throughout this mission getting C4 to destroy the tank. So I think that part really sucks. I feel like if they would have taken the armored guys out, the mission would have been a lot better, but it doesn't really satisfy me to kill a tank when I don't know if he's dead or not. A 9 out of 10. I feel like it does a lot of things well. It sets up the fights really well. I think this is a very well thought out mission. I just feel like the ending is a little cheap. Go down USA. So in this mission, we finally know where Hassan is. I feel like the intro to this mission is quite well. Going down the side of the buildings, like that is so cool to do in any game, really. I feel like that is such a good thing to do. It's really, really cool how they did that. But as soon as you start putting the elements of the DMZ like they did in Alone, this mission sucks in that regard, because you're trying to get away while planting, and you're trying to run away from these guys with the missile direction suitcase, right? And you're trying to disable the suitcase while running away and hiding from these people, while trying to get a utility knife and getting all this tape and the wax and all this other stuff. That it really separates it, because if you would have taken that out of the game, I think that would have been fine. I do feel like the beginning of this mission is very good. I think the ending is very bad. So I would say this is a I'd say this is a 7 out of 10. The elements of the survival fucking crafting system just really fucks it up for me, and oof, that really sucks. But yeah, guys, my rating for each mission in Modern Warfare 2. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know down in the comments if you guys believe or agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, that's fine. Leave a like and a dislike if you don't like the video. I don't care. Subscribe for more content if you want to keep seeing Modern Warfare 2 content from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!